Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you. Happy
happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Colin.
Colin.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you. Hey, Mr. CTO. He can't see, but he's full screen for the whole thing.
you.
Colin hopped on and was like, "Do we really need to do cams?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah. We really do. Got big important reasons for that. But you already know what it is. It's NCP episode 42. How we doing, birthday boy?
I am good. Could have been better if Reed sucked, but he got his job done. So we're feeling good though.
Yeah, Reed sucks in different ways, but honestly, a big congratulations to Reed for promoting to SPL. Is he the first intro person to have made it? I'm thinking off the top of my head.
Mm,
Reed was season 2,
Yeah,
Jake was season 3. So
Who's in
yeah.
SPL now?
They're the only two we've added.
yeah,
Adam was it at the
He
beginning?
started.
Yes.
but he
Okay.
was
Yeah, but
he was from
he was
season
in
1.
the beginning.
Well,
Yeah. So Reed the first new person to ever complete the climb. So shout out to Reed. He's come a long way since the mighty Luigi days. But we got Mr. Miltonham, Mr. MLTN. Ham, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Um, there was a world where I could have secured promotion, but I don't think I was ever counting on that. So, kind of in the spot I expected to be in.
Yeah, probably the you're living up to the title of the, I'd say, arguably the least fortunate manager in SPL. Certainly, if you end up not promoting with Danny's team that went insane last season, I think you deserve that title. But lots of good games this weekend. Let's go ahead, hop into it. When I said lots of good games, I was not talking about this one. We kicked
We
it
just
off.
skipped Fred one. Let's move on.
Fredchester United versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The game in SPL history with the least amount of stakes ever. Neither team could do anything. The only thing that was at stake is if Jake lost in 2, half of his point total would only be from beating Hamilton. Unfortunately, he lost in 3, so that stat is null and void. So that was pretty disappointing.
Ah,
And
Jake.
Fred uh, defended himself from ending up with the worst SPL MLS season of all time. Obviously, that doesn't include Hamilton season 2, but Colin, I actually wait. I think we'll get to it later, but I'm pretty sure Jacob actually got less points than Colin did last season. Um, so never mind. But either way, Freddie is not the worst team in history.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah. So shouts out to Fred. A little bit too little, too late, but did get the win. Um, Next series was very exciting though. Um, just in
Not
terms of
really.
stakes, not really in terms of
Also,
gameplay. Um,
also like to defend past Colin. I was not even the worst in my season last year. Adam did worse than me. So
did Adam finish on 9?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he only got 1 point in the back half of the season, but still, I do believe that Jacob ended up with the worst season, which is crazy.
he
Um,
did.
Considering the captain gap between Adam in season 3 and Jacob in season 4. But kind of what you alluded to, Hamilton. I think this series more or less went as expected. How do you think the team put it out on the field?
Honestly, I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to at least take him to 3. I think Colin did really well with his map picks, so I will absolutely, as always, tip my hat to that. But if I could have taken him to 3, I think it opened some doors and also closed the door on Tanya passing me. Instead, I had to have Reed series really be a sweat, where I needed Reed to win to stay in third as opposed to fourth. Um, but At the end of the day, I've run Daisy out there a fair amount of times. We got a sweep with her earlier in the season. I should have known that I wasn't due for anything else. Um, I don't know what sorcery Eric is doing, but it's certainly something.
That's a good word for it. It is something. Um, so after this series where Colin did win in two, he took top of the league in MLS. Um, at that point, were you expecting to maybe snag first, Colin, or were you pretty pessimistic?
Um, I obviously have slight inside information at this point where I knew what Tanya and Reed were running. I knew Tanya was throwing out the did. Reed was, as we'll see, went triple balance or I guess quad balanced. So I thought there was a chance, but I it did intentionally. I came in. I started what it was not my A lineup, knowing that Ham had Daisy to set things up for a potential match in the playoffs. And actually, with the sweep, I will have my entire team available in the playoffs, so I can do whatever I want. Um, so we'll see what happens.
That is very clutch because in the theoretical world where you lost this series and fell down to third, fourth, then I think you would have, unless you maybe
I
lost
was
in two,
done.
you were gonna have to
Yeah,
play Peach. Um,
yeah.
so obviously, even though it didn't end up sealing the promotion, it still was a big result. And you're in a good place. You know, it's going to be really tough competition, but you definitely are in a good place for the play-ins. Um,
We played a good season. I'm happy with the boys. We put up 23 points out of a max 30 with Peach out on the field three times. So
yeah, very respectable and a long way from the season three performance. And still lots to play for. It's not over. Um, but quick Reed Glaze sesh. He got it done. He went with the semi bold
barely.
call of quad balanced. I think he might have been resting dry bones just in case. Um, I think game one might have been a blowout thanks to some Mega Strike magic from Yoshi. But I think
His entire season's Mega Strike merchant, especially
facts.
this
Colin, are
week
you
though.
upset about this?
Does he have
No,
the
not
record? I think
actually.
he has the record for Mega Strike goals
I'm
per
just.
game in a season,
Well,
right?
yeah, he's got the two biggest Mega Strike captains. Single season. Let me look at team records. Why is this like this? Mega Strike goals. That's all time in a season. He drops 29. The next highest is 22.
Yeah, pretty unreal.
Him-
But I mean, he set the tone with the auction. I forget sometimes too that he has a dry bones on his team in addition to his nasty captains. I know he was around in the call actually for I believe his game.
Mhm.
Um, but Hamilton, have you heard anything from the kid since?
We have talked. Not he's excited to promote. He's talked about next season because he's got a bigger salary cap because he's up in the big leagues. He's gonna sign two co-managers and his friends Teddy and Charlie help him make sure that they're getting all the bases covered in SPL. So excited to see what the three of them do. Curious to know if it's better or worse than if just was Reed managing. But I think he said he was like really paying attention this season, and I mean that's shown by the fact that he finally figured out how to look at map data. But hey,
He got there
clearly,
when it mattered.
yeah.
Hamilton, do you regret getting Colin to make that tool?
No, I regret spending a few phone calls with Reed trying to help him before he found the tool. Um, and just kind of going through what captains are good. Um, the week that Tanya learned that Petey was good on Santum was a week that I told Reed, "Hey, Petey's good on Santum." Um,
Also, to anyone who listens to the podcast but doesn't use our map resources, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're
yeah,
locked in enough to be listening to the podcast, but you're not doing any research. Come on now.
Yeah, that's tough. I think Reed was probably the only person rocking like that. But he was doing okay for himself up until then. But I think that took him up another level. I do think it's a fair point in Hamilton to see if he'll be able to maintain the same success with two rookie managers helping him out.
Yeah.
I think he's going to need to guide them pretty heavily because if they just go off memes, I don't think he'll stay in the SPL long.
Yeah.
That doesn't tend to work. Um,
Yeah.
but
I don't
this
know.
season,
Eric's doing all right.
what'd you say?
I said Eric's going on memes, and I would say he's doing all right.
It's not like full memes though. There's
That's right. There's a
his own
strategy behind
his
it.
own flawed logic is in there. Versus I'd say Jake is like full memes.
Yeah. Okay.
But this left us with our final MLS table with Reed on top on 23 points, only winning off head to head. Goal difference was in Colin's favor. So those two very clutch wins, the one that Reed actually had over Colin when they were both in person, and then the week 9 comeback against Peach, making the difference. Otherwise, Colin for sure would have snagged that top slot. Obviously, just based off points alone.
Also, I want to point out while we're looking at the screen, I know you're going through the table. Look at the goals for
Yeah,
me and Reed. 90-91, you look at Ham at 67. Me and Reed this season are the new 1 and 2 in goals in a season.
yeah.
I just
So
want to know
that's kind of cool.
how many goals did Danny score last season?
Not that many.
Danny just
He's
kind
not in
of
the
won
top
that
10 all
season.
time. He's not in the top 10 all time. He has the least amount of goals allowed ever that season, or goals
Okay.
per game allowed.
That is. I also do. I want.
There are also no goals last season.
How many extra games did you and Reed play? Just the other question I would ask.
I played one more than Reed. I know that, or one less than Reed.
I'm pretty sure, Colin, you said you guys lead in like goals for per game as well, though,
That
right?
was goals for in per game. I'm fourth all time, and Reed is seventh all time.
And just for comparison, Reed was 3.4 goals per game. Colin was 3.5. Danny last season was 2.8.
Yeah,
So big gap there. But Danny's team just kind of won, which I think, as
Yeah.
Colin cited, had a lot to do with defense. So Reed auto promotes into SPL. Colin goes into the finals of the play-ins, and then it was already sealed that Jake and Fred wouldn't have any stakes. So Hamilton has the slight map advantage in third place versus Tanya finished in fourth. Hamilton,
everyone's
have you
got
started
lineup.
to think about maps at all yet?
Yes, to a degree.
I will
Is what
say I do think that double, like, having the 8 map pool actually significantly sways the power of the higher seed compared to seasons past. Because I was starting to do some, map calculations versus Eric, and just the fact that off the bat you get guaranteed 2 bans is massive.
Yeah.
I don't think we've
Yeah.
ever actually seen that before.
Is it 2 bands and then my pick, or is it 2 bands and then Tanya's pick?
The, you ban, Hanya bans, you ban, and then you alternate picks, starting with you.
With you getting first pick.
Okay.
So basically, you just get to
Pretty
remove 2 maps from the pool.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So that's big.
Also, in case anyone was curious how locked in I am, I have a matrix of what rosters I think each person could run and what maps I will be running in what order based on the winners and what rosters they submit for the bottom half.
I don't think Colin really wants to promote that bad. I'm be real.
Get me out of here. I don't want to be in a 7 Birdo league.
Yeah, but that's final standings for MLS. I genuinely love the pro rel format. I think this has been a huge success. The MLS playoff is almost as much fun as the whole championship is. So I'm stoked to see how this shakes out. Also, too, the fact that like you guys are gonna play some nuts lineups. Like all of you
Yeah.
guys are well rested, so it's gonna be tense.
I was
Oh, yeah.
looking at lineups as the games were playing. Like Tanya rested to be in fourth. I rested for the possibility of being in third. Colin like half rested so that way he could have a chance of being first. But also if he got second, he was okay. If he got third or fourth, he was not in a good spot. But we'll ignore that because it didn't happen. And then Reed even like half rested. He played out a pretty solid lineup, but like he was still okay.
And so it's
If
a pretty balanced lineup.
yeah, my bad. Um, but like he was okay if he didn't get first. So like no matter what, the path to first in the playoffs was going to be a steep hill to climb for anybody.
There's no Jacoby Brissett in the
Yeah,
MLS playoffs.
yeah,
I think it also just goes to show how competitive the MLS is. Like for a tier two, like you can wallow around in the bottom and not really put your best foot forward, but to actually win and or promote, like you guys go hard. So it's a brutal format, but I am stoked because last year the actual play-in game, I think we only had one game. It was just Dave versus Hamrick, so it was just 2v3. Um, and that ended up being a pretty big sleeper just because Hamilton played all his cards in week 10, and then got hit by Kate. So I think we're in for a treat, and you boys are in for some stress.
yeah.
Um, but for SPL games, we kicked it off with the game that in theory had the lowest direct stakes, um, but still had lots of implications. It was Dave versus Garrett. Off the bat, game one kind of felt like just like classic Dave. I think it ended up like 5 or 6-2, and Donkey Kong was just absolutely ripping. And I don't think many people had belief for Garrett to come back. Um, at this point in the season, Hamilton, what do you make of Garrett's roster? Because I think it's pretty darn scary.
I I think I would almost rather play some people in the MLS to promote than have to play Garrett to stay up. Like I think I'd rather be in my spot and thinking I have a better chance of making it to SPL than playing Garrett in the play-in game and thinking I'm staying in. Like
This Garrett Danny playing game is gonna be nuts. Not to jump
yeah.
ahead.
Like I think that Garrett's team is disgusting in a very good way, and like I don't know how else to articulate this, but I don't think that it was understood the first time. But I think there's a higher chance of staying in SPL, playing two games in an MLS playoff against stacked teams, than playing Garrett's team in SPL.
Yeah, he's just like
The only I was just gonna say his only problem is he has no map control in that play-in.
That's true.
But but the team looks he's only gotten better throughout the whole season. Unfortunately, he couldn't. I mean, a lot of those moves happened for late fitness, like the Markley pickup. Probably wasn't just gonna be available early. But the kid's got a squad if he can stay up.
the other thing is that his sidekicks, at least some of them stay with him too. So, granted, I guess actually now that we've kind of changed the draft format, you're not really keeping anyone other than the people you protect. But I think he's in a solid spot for next season as well. And he actually ended up, despite all the doom and gloom in the first game, he ended up actually winning this whole series, beating David's A team, which very rarely happens. I think the only other loss that they had was to Eric's Princess lineup, which is just absurd. Um, so yeah, Garrett, even though he did finish fifth, he is in a very good spot. He does have to play against Danny Bowser. Never great, especially historically for Petey. But I don't think Garrett has had to run that yet. So this will be his chance. Second game, lots of stakes because
I mean, going back 1 second,
yeah,
Garrett was closer to first place than he was to last place in from fifth. He was 6 points out of first and 8 points out of last in fifth. Like it was a he put up a fight this season. Obviously competitive SPL, but if he had
yeah.
gotten some of those pieces earlier, he would have been in there.
And also too, I think the thing that really cost it was the week 9 loss to Eric. If
Yeah,
the did had been
with
able
the
to squeak
did.
that out, then he would have been in a very, very dangerous, very prime position. But that's what happens when you run your B captain out there. You're
And shout
always.
out to Dave.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say shout out to Dave. He won the first 2 weeks, took the lead, took the full on first place in week 3 with a win, and held on to first place the entire season. Never gave it up.
Yeah, no, massive respect, and I think he might be getting some dues for that later on. I will say it ended up being a bit more of a limp across the finish line than it seemed at the start. Like in my mind, Dave was always clear and far above everyone else, and in the end, slight leak for standings, he only ended up 1 point above two teams. Um, but he got the job done. Absolutely deserves respect for it. But next series, because Dave lost in 3 and got that point, he was safe from me. The only way that I could catch him is if he got swept there. So that game 1 win solidified um, this result not impacting him. But a little bit of deja vu for me playing against Jacob in week 10. Where if I win, I make playoffs. If I lose, I'm in the relegation game. But that's when you trust in the goat. Mario 2 winningest manager, not manager. Fuck it, he's the manager. In SPL history, he got it done. I know we gave a bit of a eulogy for Jaco last season. But Colin, do you think there are any positives that he can take into next?
Um, I think the kid's got to switch it up. I think Yoshi, Mr. Monty, they've had their time in the sun. Not saying those two together is done for, but we're gonna have to do a little more research other than ban Wasteland, send Vanilla. Obviously that's a good start, but we're gonna need to find something else. We're gonna need to figure out what we're doing with the rest of our team. Uh, if he wants to get out of the MLS now that he's down there, it's a fight to get out.
I will. I'll push this to you because both you and I, you being Hamilton, have some insight. Talking to Jacob, being around him a bit a couple weeks ago, do you have faith that he will change?
No.
No.
He's
I've
not
got
a
some
man of
insight into
change.
that, but I genuinely do not think he will change. I think he's committed to his boys. Um, he did point out a pretty important stat to us that he's got how many game 3 losses? Um, and his argument is that if any of those just go the other way, um, he's a t- he's at least in playoffs, if not title contending.
I have a
Um,
I have a counter
the
Jacob argument.
the
I'll let you
argument
finish though.
against that is that all we're really doing is trying to influence a 50-50 coin flip. So getting it to game 3 is the whole point, basically. Um, and then if you can make it so that way you can win game 3, that's how you actually win games or series. Go ahead, Nick Colin.
I know Jacob has kind of basically not rested, but said he's finished fourth 3 straight seasons before this season. and in his mind, that means he's only a couple wins away from first. Jacob all time is um what is that number? 12th all time in win percentage out of 15. He's only sitting above Jake, Adam, and Shell. It's not like he's kind of held on by the skin of his teeth in a couple not great against not great competition. Not saying, the spellcasters are ass, but the spellcasters were ass.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
and and then, held on above what was it? Fred went down last season with a pretty rough team and
Adam.
Adam was terrible.
Yeah. The
He's
thing
got to
about
make
Jacob's
something
team
up.
is like whenever it's mattered most, he's done just enough to stay in fourth. Like he in season 1, he got like 2 upsets to go like and make top 4. And then in season 2, he, won the interconference playoff to send did he just beat Grant in playoffs twice?
Uh, no, last season he beat Freddie in playoffs.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I was trying to remember season 2 because I know he beat someone in MFMK. He might have beat Reed. Um, I can't remember, but
I
there's a
can
good
pull it
chance
up.
that he just
Yeah.
beat Grant twice, and that's how he got fourth. So that's not
He was fourth, lost to Danny, beat Fred. He's beaten Fred twice.
in season 2 playoffs.
Season two playoffs, he beat Fred.
Okay,
But he came in
maybe
as a four seed, be relegated.
maybe he qualified top. I think he might have. I don't know.
He
That's
was, yeah, he was top two. He was number two in the spellcasters.
gotcha. So he didn't have to go in the interconference survival.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, something's got to change. Don't know if it will. Um, I don't even know what words to use to describe this last series. Um, I'm pretty sure we absolute guaranteed this for Danny, um, which makes a lot of sense on paper. Um, does anyone know? Does anyone have any thoughts about how Eric was to win this series convincingly?
However, he did
Uh,
it.
if I speak, I have no idea. I don't understand. Obviously,
I,
Danny's probably kicking himself. He had Bowser available. Obviously, he would have. I mean, he didn't expect Dave to lose. If he knows that Dave's going to lose, he can run Bowser this week, and then he's set in the one seed with Bowser in the championship.
I'll ask the real
Um,
question. Do you think Bowser makes the difference?
yes, Bowser Jr. sucks.
I I think that there is a difference between Bowser Jr. and Bowser. I will agree to that wholeheartedly. But I mean, Eric was prepping for Bowser.
Eric doesn't prep for anything.
He, he
He
banned
preps.
Lava.
He did ban lava. Did he go to Santum? Or what does he have Peach?
I
He
think
has
he
Peach,
banned. I
so
think the
he has
Santum got
Peach.
banned.
So yeah.
I will
I
say
mean,
the one thing you could maybe levy against Danny with the power of hindsight is this is twice now that Peach has swept Bowser Jr. Danny actually, did that to Freddy last year for Peach's like first ever series win,
non-Princess Series win, yeah.
first ever non-Princess series win, and now Peach has done it again. The matchup lifetime is Peach is 5-6 against Bowser Jr., so it's not definitive. Like I said, that's power of hindsight. But I personally do think that Bowser would have made the difference, especially because it's Danny's Bowser. Um,
Good point.
but I think what Danny did was valid. I also don't think that he's particularly upset by it. I think Danny's chilling. I think Danny's gonna need like 3 bad seasons before he starts to get sad.
I also think, and this goes back to the auction, whatever, 3 months ago. Danny's sidekicks this season are not that great. And he traded away a decent one for Bowser Jr., which I think is a beneficial trade. But Bowser Jr. with I don't know what he actually ran out this week, but in general, he spent a lot of money on Bowser, which I think is a fair strategy. And I think when it came down to it, his sidekicks kind of let him down.
Yeah, in a pretty big way. To not even go 3 here, I don't think it would have influenced the standings. But that's kind of the saddest part for Danny. I feel like to just get swept out. Um, I do think that we need to take a slight moment, even though it might not feel good, to eat our words to Eric. The kid did it. He I don't think he dropped, like, I think he got points every single week in the back half of the season, and then ended up finishing above the 2 people he traded with. This is the greatest princess season of all time. And I do think that, for what it's worth, that deserves some credit. Um, do you guys, Hamilton, you're kind of speaking slightly positively about, like, even Bowser not being able to get the win against Eric here. Where are your stocks on him in the playoffs?
I I don't know is what I can tell you. I would hate to see Eric because I wouldn't know what to do. Is what I'll say. Um, I know I'm banning Sandtomb, and then I'm probably banning Thunder Island and maybe Wastelands or the Dump. But genuinely, I don't know. Like, it's been such a conceived thought that the princesses are bad, and suddenly maybe they aren't.
I
Maybe
have a princess stat.
maybe we just somehow never found this lineup for them, which I would love to know if Danny, me, or David ran this lineup in season 1 or season 2. Um, because I feel like it was tried and it did not succeed. But maybe I am incorrect in that fact.
What's your
That
princess
I
stat,
do
Colin?
not know. So for specifically in SPL, I'm not looking at MLS right now. Both princesses each played 11 games, which is on the low end. Every captain played between the lowest was 8, the highest was 19 games, just for reference. Combined, the princesses have 10 goals. The next lowest captain is Waluigi with 11. That's those two combined have lower than the next lowest captain. The highest is 41. Peach had 1 goal this season. There's only one character in the entire league who had less goals, and it's Shy Guy 6 who didn't play a game. Every other character at least matched Peach in goals. Peach 1 or 2. I think that's Peach 2. Peach 2. So, I mean, obviously they got it done. I mean, Peach 2 has a 55% win percentage, but no goals. A negative impact. I mean, stats aren't everything. I guess wins are, but I in a best of 5, I don't have that much confidence in that team coming out and winning 3 games out of 5 against a playoff caliber team.
Only one way to find out.
Hmm.
Eric's got to get over the third place hurdle. Um, but just anyone who's listening at right now at 34 minutes, just know you got to strap in because we still have a lot of segments. We're keeping it short and crisp tonight. But last second, SPL table, Dave finishes on first on 22 points. Bridesmaids and Goose Crusade locked on 21 points. I'm above Eric on head-to-head, but also goal difference, so that doesn't really matter. Danny ends up a full 2 points back on 19 versus Garrett in fifth on 16 points. Like Colin talked about, Jacob unfortunately finishes very far behind, and and I do think that that is one of, in the end, the worst seasons in Strikers history. 1-9 with -26, not good. Um, does that he lost in 3 5 times?
I, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then lost
that
in 2-4.
I think that I
One
think
win is tough.
I think that kind of to Hamilton's point earlier. I think that shows the research diff. I think you can't get away with just your first two, like your 1 and your 8 having thought. You need to put thought into all your middle maps too, because that's where game 3 matters. Um, but yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk in a little bit more detail about the playoff bracket. And we already kind of referenced this as we went along. Real quick, because we're dying for more segments. I did find our tier lists. For this is purely based off auction. And prospects for the season. MLS is up on the screen right now. Low key, we kind of cooked.
Yeah. Switch
Not bad.
me and Colin and move Reed up, but basically nailed it.
Yeah, and I mean like Colin and Reed like literally deserve to be like in lockstep.
Yeah.
So the ordering there, but doesn't matter. But crush that. Based off memory, I'm pretty sure we killed SPL too. Can't think of anything that is wrong about this. That's how the table finished, right?
If you move just one person, I think we might actually be have done pretty well.
Danny and 2 is tough when he's in the elimination game.
But
But his team's good.
to be fair, Colin, literally, if he won that game, he was first,
He was first.
and
yeah.
if he lost, he was fourth.
Yeah. Kind of a
I
wild
will
scenario.
state that the thing I think we did well is we put 4 people in A.
Mm-hmm.
And I genuinely think there were 4 A teams in SPL this season. Unfortunately, just David was one of them, and we didn't think that he would be.
You're right, Hamilton. We deserve a lot of credit. I agree.
Also, David's team kind of does suck. I want to throw that in the atmosphere.
They're not good.
No.
We have a special little treat tonight, as hopefully everyone who voted knows. We it's All-Star season, and our birthday boy CTO extraordinaire has prepped a little presentation for us about the season 4 All-Stars. Colin, do you need any further? Do you need any further ado?
I think the title says it all.
Yeah. Okay. Is the presentation over?
Quattro Formaggi.
All right. SPL season 4 All Stars. Here we go. Basically, we're just gonna go through all the All Stars. The furthest to the left is your first team. Second person is second team. This is how the votes get added up. This is how we've done it for the last 3 seasons, where the amount of first place votes times 5, second place votes times 3, plus the number of third place votes times 1 gives you a score. And this is how the votes shake out. Tiebreakers go to first place votes, then second place votes. But this is our MLS striker / captain. I'm actually curious because
I feel like this is rigged.
I wanted to check this. I don't think I voted myself first, to be honest. I think I voted for Yoshi.
I am genuinely shocked. I thought that Yoshi was a lock. Not that Wario's season was bad, but Yoshi's was spectacular.
I voted Yoshi.
I wonder if this really does just come down to like Yoshi. Like there's split votes clearly for like first place,
Yeah.
but a lot of second place votes went to Colin.
Yes.
and so I like. Is it more that Wario is just such a distinct number two that he got first overall?
But
I
then
don't
if
know.
you
Obviously, I don't have
but then if you
stats on
voted
this
for
page.
Wario number 1, why would you not vote Yoshi 2?
I
Who
don't have a
the
good
heck
answer
was
to
voting for Bowser?
that. Me.
Freaking Tori.
Hey.
Two people voted Bowser first
They're
overall, and it was
educated
Hamilton
votes.
and Tory.
Let me rattle off real quick, just so he gets his due. Let me rattle off real quick some Yoshi stats from this season. Number 3 all time goals per game. Only 4 people have ever put up over 2 goals per game. He did that definitively. Number 1 all time Mega Strike goals per game, 1.31. Literally like dominant. Top 5 in Strikers Index. The number 1 impact ever. Highest impact ever.
Yeah, by a good margin too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Not necessarily because of Dave this season, but
Oh,
pre
okay,
this
yeah.
season, yes. But based off metrics, I'm just saying probably the greatest season of all time. Didn't get first team All Stars. That's tough.
I would like to point out I voted Yoshi 1, Wario 2, and who did I vote 3? I voted Bowser 3.
And all the stats I just read off, Wario is not in the top 10 for. I believe win
Wario didn't
percentage.
really score that much
Yeah,
this season.
he did
Good win
win.
percentage, insane plus minus.
Yeah, which I can't see either of those right now. So that's
Yeah.
tough.
All right. Top midfield, Thor, Hammer 5 comes. I think I have stats somewhere. I guess I can pull up the actual
Who
All-Star
snubbed
page.
Monto? I have questions.
I got a lot of questions for anyone who didn't vote Monto. I mean, really, I don't think Monto got my
pull
number
up their
1.
actual stats.
Did you vote
I'm pretty
Monto
sure
1,
so.
Ham?
I might have.
Your ballot
Someone
was just
put
a
Monto 1.
joke.
Someone put Monto 1. I can call
If there's
out whoever put
one,
Mon.
it's
There's
probably
one.
Tori.
It was Tanya.
I mean, Tanya just knows ball, so.
I think I put
Didn't
Young
even put
Hope.
Life Alert 1. Life Alert cleans up with the number 2 votes. I mean, this Hammer Bro had an insane season. Overall, I have the stats pulled up here for the whole. Does this work still? This is the wrong part of the form. So I mean, 1.27 goals per game at top mid itself, 106 at bottom mid. Anytime a sidekick's over a goal per game, they're having a great season.
That's disgusting.
25 plus minus, 4.3 impact. Like, he's had an insane season.
Yeah, that's unreal. Number 2 all-time Strikers Index. Number 2 all-time impact.
2 all-time goals per game.
Yeah, unreal. Very very deserved. No controversy for this one.
Yeah.
Monto.
Life Alert has also had a great season. A little over 3/4 a goal per game. Almost a 2 impact. Great season. Youngway, solid season. Monto's got some name brand value, but a negative impact on the season.
Hamilton, I was this close to getting away with renaming Youngway Coop. This close.
Turns out Control F find and replace doesn't work when they're named already.
I just sent Colin a text and asked him to change Koopa 4 to Koopo 4 Magi. I was this close. This close.
Right. Bottom midfield, Mrs. Monty absolutely destroys here. And then wait, I guess so. Yeah, first team Thor, second team Life Alert, first team Mrs. Monty, second team Dry Bones here. Not really a whole lot else going on here. Kind of a weak position. I think these two kind of got in a lot off of team success.
Harvey Bones, the legend, getting no recognition.
No recognition.
Potential Mount Rushmore. I feel like the dry bones won stats. I think I'm pretty sure I voted dry bones just because I was more impressed statistically. But
He's always had a good season. He's currently all time. Let me find it. This is for my off season pod. He's third all time now. Actually,
Because I thought you were
Thor, the
talking about
Hammer Bro
Harvey
5.
Bones.
no, I was
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about dry
Harvey
bones
Bones.
3, but it's okay.
Dry Bones 3. Oh, sorry. I don't know what Dry Bones 3 has done. He's
Yeah,
he's on my
that's
team.
okay.
He fills his role.
Yeah, I was impressed by him. Is all I was saying.
Oh yeah, he's had a good year. All right. Defense. Bull. Bull. Boo won. Well deserved. Um,
Who the fuck is Kevin DeBones?
yeah, that's Kevin DeBonesy.
Where did he come from? Who is that? Hamilton's?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Hams.
All these fake
Kevin
ass people who
DeBonesy
got
gets
named in
team
week
two.
10. We got freaking Thor had his name for 1 week. Harvey Bones, Kevin DeBones. Who are these
There's also
imposters?
Don't forget about Donatello over here.
These are all shams. Damn, Boop fell all the way to 4.
Yeah, I voted Boob, I think.
It's a tight race between 3 and 5 there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even visually. I can't even tell the difference, dude. You gotta the fact that Colin just swept the whole team. I do feel like everything was deserved except Wario.
Yeah, Wario didn't deserve to be there. Like my sidekicks have been nuts, and that's why my team has been good. Wario's facilitated, but that should have been Yoshi. Let's see. Utility. Every single person voted Reed's Jack Drybones 4 to be a utility person. No one else made the cut. Couple votes for Shy Guy and Birdo here, but you have to make this yellow line to qualify for a second team and the green line to qualify for a first team.
Were you listing that season 2 just as an additional accolade for?
Oh yeah, I have. If you go back on DeBonesy, it just shows previous anyone. I only looked at the top two for anyone. I didn't look at these people's previous stats.
Yeah,
It's just previous all just to show multiple time All Stars. So DeBonesy's got first team last season, second team this season,
I love Colin so much.
and then so yeah, Jack got season 2. He was the MFMK second team defensive All Star. This season he gets the first ever player to get the utility, make All Stars a utility player.
If you go back to captains, Wario had season 3 butt munch.
Not on there. Oh, and then manager. I get first. Reed gets second. Ham, Tanya, Jake. I think this was kind of the standings when we did voting.
I do think that's
But I
fair
think-
though too, because I think you
it's
got more
fair.
out of your team than Reed did out of his,
I
based off
I don't
our tier list.
disagree. Yes.
Rip Fred.
Rip Fred. SPL. Obviously Donkey Kong 2 gets first team, but Mario 2 pulls in second team. It's a tie between Mario and Petey, but Mario gets the tiebreaker with one singular first place vote, probably coming from Austin.
It definitely was not me actually. That's peak. Someone out there knows ball. Mario was worse than Petey
It
and
was
literally.
Reed. Wait, no, it wasn't. It was Garrett himself.
Bro, Mario was worse than Petey in literally everything, but that's the goat right there. You gotta respect
Highest
the
win
goat.
percentage all time.
You gotta respect
We-
the goat.
Can we address that Eric Stacey had more first place votes than Danny's Bowser?
It was from Tanya and Eric. So
Okay.
Bruh.
Mario 2-time All-Star though.
Yeah, that's big. 2-time second team.
Back to back second team.
The GOAT.
Second team All-Star. Top midfield, Kate. Kate cleans up. Second time first team. Top
Kate's
midfield
bad.
last season in MLS, this season in the SPL. Honestly, I might have been the one who didn't vote Kate or maybe I didn't. I don't know. Eastwood had an insane season. What did I vote? I did vote Kate. I think at the time that might have been the right vote. I think looking back, would probably change it to Eastwood. Um, Highest goals per game all time with 1.21 goals per game is insane. The most goals scored ever by a sidekick, beating Mr. Monty season 2 who played all 10 weeks. With fitness, outscoring someone from season 2 is insane. 23 goals.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that
Hard carrying
like
a princess team.
yeah, I think some like if I were to probably nominate like an MVP for the whole season, I think I probably would do Eastwood. I think that's the hardest carry we may have ever seen, especially from a sidekick. But you know, it's hard to deny Kate, as
Yeah.
Hamilton knows.
Kate's bad. Can't convince me otherwise.
Kate's got a few all-time stats that are insane. I think Kate pulled a lot of votes on name value, and I think was doing well at that point. Eastwood Montgomery might have split a bit of vote, but I think Eastwood deserves some credit
Yeah,
for an insane season.
back-to-back first teams for Kate.
Yeah. Eh. Um, Coop pulls in a third straight first team All Star. By the way, insane run from Coop. Obviously, will not win the championship this season, so cannot keep that streak up. But three straight first teams. This time doing it at a different position. Bottom midfield Koopa first team. By the way, bottom midfield Koopa has the worst win percentage of any sidekick in any position. Coop pulls in an All Star.
Except for the goat. I'm guessing just top of my head. That's got to be the first time. A, I think it's the only time someone's ever three-peated, and also B, I imagine it's the first time someone's ever gotten first team in two positions, let alone
Yes.
like that's crazy.
This is why I put these little notes in here today, and I did it because I noticed Coop was here and I wanted to emphasize the insane run that Coop has been on, especially well, for Danny. I think Danny. I don't know how much he paid for Coop, but he's got to protect him and try to bring him back because Coop's been nuts for Dan.
He won't.
Toad 7. I don't know. It's one of the Toads on Dave's team. Who the fuck knows which one does what?
Yeah, he won't get another championship.
Couple first place votes down here towards the bottom. Two for Dry Bones 8, one for Marty, one for this shy guy.
Who's voted for Jacob Shy Cat?
Got a hunch.
We got some trolls in here, man.
Bottom midfield is that shy guy
Yeah,
5.
Rhymes with Bako.
It does rhyme with Bako.
If you're not backing your boys, who is?
Should be no one.
Right. And defense goes to DB9. He was an all-star last season. Bay pulls in a second team. I would argue Bay maybe should be first team. Absolutely insane season from Bay. First all-time in plus minus with 27.
Yeah, I feel like Bay was better than DB9 in literally every metric.
Before
think
this
that the-
season, the previous high season record in plus minus was 18. Granted, there were 6 people who passed that mark this season, but Bay smoked it with a 27
I'm gonna
across 3 teams.
state now that next season, I think All Stars should only be open for a week. Because
That's
like,
fair.
I think I voted for DB9 before all the light came up about Bay. Like, obviously Bay's stats were there, but I don't think they were quite as impressive at the time.
We could maybe do a post week 10 almost.
I think maybe
Do it-
maybe
do it
between week
Well,
9 and 10.
official.
Maybe between
Yeah.
week
Yeah.
9 and 10. I like this more than the previous season because the previous season we did it after like week 6 and then like a lot of stuff changed. I feel like, not
Yeah.
not that much changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SPL utility, no one. There were only 3 that qualified at the time of the vote, and no one really had done a whole lot. Saquondo, Teat, Koopa.
Were
not
all of
getting the
those votes
necessary.
from their own managers?
Someone else voted for T, but I would place a bet that it started with a T and ended with an A. That would be. Oh, wait. We got a Tory vote on T. Tory Tanya voted yes on T. Garrett voted on his own Koopa, and Eric voted on T and Saquondo.
Checks out.
Manager Dave gets first by a mile. Austin pulls in second, his second All Star nomination. Congrats, Austin. Eric and Danny close behind Garrett Jacob. Each getting at least a vote or two.
Maybe we do this post week 10. Because I feel like Eric deserves. Like, just the slight change between even like 8 to 9 versus 9 to 10 for Eric looks completely different.
Also, I would point that Dave did finish first, but by the hair on his chin, or I think he buzzed his hair, so I'll also say the hair on his head. Um, but I think that Eric getting into playoffs with his team is a more impressive feat.
Yeah.
He had a good start before he got to this team, but
That's fair.
but he did well with the princesses.
But he also did better post trade. Like, but
yeah.
he was doing fine. Like, I think he had 7 points in the first 4 weeks, and then he had 8 points in the next 4, and then 6 in the last 2. He pounded down the stretch. But I definitely think that's not to say I think I would slide Eric into second team. I do think Dave deserves first, especially compared to how some people may have rated his prospects. I think he performed incredibly well. Cool.
And here are the final rosters. Color coded with everyone's color code. First team. A lot of Dave here, a lot of me here, but second team's got some good variety. I think it's fun. And this is every character's all stars. So a lot of the same captains have popped up a few times. PD only one all star ever, which I think is kind of funny. But then you see the sidekicks down here. Koopa having the second most. Obviously, Dry Bones is great. Koopa's got 8 appearances. Monty 6. Only one Birdo and one Shy Guy
Who
of all
has
time.
more All-Star appearances than Hammer Bro is a crazy stat.
Oh my god, dude! The fact that Mario is the all-time leader. Let's go.
Wait, Mario's 3? Oh, must have been Mario 1, season
3.
Season 2?
I think
Season
last
2?
season.
However, I think if last season
did both Marios?
Yeah.
Both Marios
That
made it.
second team. That might have been pre-Peach loss too. Peak. Dude,
Yeah. All I got.
No, that was awesome. Thank you, Colin. I feel like last season was kind of like the season of Monty, and this season was like a bit more of a regression. Obviously, in MLS, like a bit more dominant, but MLS Monty is not getting a lot of recognition.
This is Monty.
Yeah,
Life alert.
yeah. Like I said, an SPL.
Yeah. Well, you guys only have 3, I think, right?
3 Monties. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the season of booze. I mean, I guess only 2 made all stars, but it's the season of the boo.
Season of the boo renaissance. It was pretty much, well, it was decided before we came to this week, but Colin also won predictions. The first person ever to defend Golden Picker back to back, sitting at a solid 67%. And pretty big pack.
Defecate.
What'd you say?
He didn't even defecate.
No, he was
What's he
just
doing?
confident. He broke all the norms. It's not fair. But yeah, back to back Golden Picker and didn't even have a terrible season. The curse is over. Shouts out to Freddie for not getting last despite predicting everything in week 1.
Get it, Reed.
But overall,
Colors don't work.
solid week of
Yeah.
Preds. But we're not quite done predicting yet. We got we got the postseason. All right. So where do we want to start? I feel like
I actually did terrible at Preds last week. 2 and 4.
hey, you didn't need any more.
Yeah,
Um,
3 dropped below 500.
So it's Pred time. I feel like it makes the most sense to start at the bottom and work our way up. I don't have this formatted for us to predict at all. I didn't think about that. I just focused on making it look visually appealing. But this is tough. I don't know where to type in our Preds.
You could type everything in our colors.
What'd you say?
You said you could type like a winner out each time in our colors, but your guys' colors are hard to read on white.
Let me cook for a moment. Do you guys want to talk about the first game of Nepo Babies versus Double Dry Bones?
No.
I guess I can go since I'm not in there. Let me see what our rosters are looking like.
Hamilton, did you
I'm
just say no?
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
go
so now
ahead,
I'll
Colin.
give my thoughts. We know what Tanya's running. Tanya's running Bowser Jr., Life Alert, Dry Bones, and Boop, which is probably her A lineup. I think that's what she set up for. I think that's her A lineup or what she would want to run. That's a good roster. Ham has everyone available. He can go Bowser, double Dry Bones if he wants. I'm not going to provide any thoughts on what I think he should do. I will leave that up to him. But I think Hamilton's had a very good season. I think with having his whole team available, I think Ham will probably, not will probably, I think I would predict Ham to win this in game 5.
That's a thing. So you said Ham in 5.
Ham in 5.
I'm gonna ask for a 4th column to be added to this.
For the
The
coin.
coin! The coin!
I have already flipped it. Do I need to flip it 5 times is my question.
Yes.
Yeah. Each
Okay.
one's an independent game. You gotta hit us flip by flip.
Okay, so it went. I'm doing per bracket. Bottom team is tails, top team is heads. And I don't understand exactly why, but in the bracket, I'm on the bottom as the 3 seed versus Tanya's on the top as the 4 seed. I feel like that should be flipped, but
Colin likes
it went
baseball.
tails, heads, tails, which goes. It's actually opposite of that. Because I'm on the bottom, so we go me, Tanya, me.
It's a best of 5.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, you were writing it out, and I was.
Okay.
And then tails, which would do it.
So Ham in 4.
Ham in 4.
Oh, you were writing
I
heads
hate that
versus
heads-
tails. Is
I
also
hate that.
Ham and Tanya.
So bad.
I was also gonna go Ham in 4. I'm gonna give him the opportunity to defecate fully.
You know I've got it.
we all know what he does
Are you
best.
at least giving yourself a game?
So, genuinely, what I'm going to say is I ran what I thought was my true A lineup like 2 weeks ago against Tanya. And Tanya ran out of lineup and beat me in 3 games. Um, she had
Good
map
Tanya then.
advantage then. I should have map advantage now, but I still don't love it. I'm gonna go Tanya in five. I think it'll be a really good series.
I think you're just a masochist.
Okay.
Week 8, Tanya ran out. In week 8,
The exact lineup she
Bowser
has.
Jr., Life Alert, Dry Bones, and Boob. That can be the exact roster that she runs this week. Hammer and Bowser, Monto, Dry Bones, Koopa. You could run double DB.
Good. We'll see.
So, based off, do we want to do a cumulative thing or do we want to just follow each of our predictions? I feel like we can do individual.
Follow. Yeah.
Um, Colin versus Hamilton in the chip.
Should write Ham/Tanya then.
Yeah, that I did that when I thought we were doing a cumulative. You're
You
gonna
want to
make
start
me.
with the coin?
You're gonna make me pick between my boys. Jeez. So Colin has everything.
Yep.
Because he's gaining one
Even
fitness
though, yeah, I'll gain the one. So I
on
will have that
Donatello.
Koopa available.
Hamilton has everything in the first one, but won't in the second. Colin has map advantage. Jeez. Um. I feel like you might have the easiest job here, Hamilton. Between you're picking between Colin and Tanya. Do you have any thoughts?
I think that when Tanya gets there, she still has her entire lineup, but I think that Colin will get a lot of information from my series about maps. And so I think that Colin will be able to pull that out. I think it'll be a good series. I think it goes to four because Colin has a significant map advantage.
I'm picking, I was just looking at the stats. I have only gotten my game wrong once this entire season. I've predicted for myself 7 times, against myself twice. I'm going with myself again. The confidence has worked. Taking me. I'm gonna go 4. Trust in the map picks. Done my research.
Heads. Tails. Heads. Tails. Tails.
Dude, I swear I'm not copying the frickin' coin. I'm going ham and 5. Mainly because I think Wario's a farmer. Um, but I think that is, that is the most vindicated coin flip we've ever had if that ends up being Colin versus Ham. Colin versus Tanya, I do favor Colin a good bit, just in a best of 5 series especially. But if you two end up playing each other with Bowser in the chip, that's going to be tough, and I really think it could go either way. So in that case, Colin, I guess we're not doing a cumulative bracket, so it doesn't matter. So 2 of us have Hamilton winning, and 2 people have Colin winning.
People.
What'd you say?
Said people. With finger quotes.
I mean, these basically got the same name as you.
Yeah. Oh, we should send out brackets for everyone to fill out again.
Yeah, we should do playoff breads.
Do you still have the one from last season that I could just edit?
Yeah, I should.
It's post Post pod.
Post pod.
Question.
Yeah. All right, so that takes us to our SPL games, which I swear I fixed this and then it unfixed. So first up, we have Danny versus Garrett. Danny as the 4 seed with complete map control. Bowser available. I think Garrett's team's better, but unfortunately, I think Danny gets it. He always wins the important game except for this past week. So I'll do Danny in 4. I'll give Garrett a game. I think it'll probably be heartbreaking. That's painful with how hard Garrett worked to get up to SPL, but I think he got the worst possible draw in Danny with Bowser rested. Anyone else have burning thoughts?
We've
I
seen
think
we've seen Bowser versus PD a fair number of times. And pretty much every time it doesn't end well for PD. But this time it's going to be different. Garrett in 5.
What a segue. That I think that'll hurt Danny's legacy if he loses that Peach game into losing a best of 5 series with full map control to relegate. I think that's probably the only thing that could taint Danny's legacy.
I think I would pick Garrett if he had any form of map control. I think Danny getting full triple ban, he means, well, he obviously we all know he just gets to pick the maps. So I'm gonna give it to Danny. I'm gonna give it to Danny in 5. But I think Garrett can run out a great roster, and I wouldn't be that surprised if he wins. There's the PD Bowser issue, but
I mean, Danny's just done this so many times.
yeah,
So many times. And I don't think he's ever lost to PD. What's the coin got?
It went heads, then tails, and now heads again. Heads. They need 4.
Okay, that time I went before the coin. That time I went before the coin, okay? Oh God. Eric versus me.
You just beat him, correct?
Yeah. It was close. That was the 4 in the red Mega Strike, I think, where he went over.
Yeah.
So not convincing. I do back myself in a best of 5 series. I think I can get it done in 4. Gonna go ahead and lock that in. Partial glaze meta, also just straight glaze. Eric has had an incredible season, and deserves respect for what he's done. But I think best of 5 with the princesses is a tall ask.
I think Eric can get 2 if he had map control. I don't think he can get 3 if he doesn't have map control. Give me Austin in 5.
Colin.
well, it's clearly gonna be Austin because he has to lose in the championship. What happened last season?
And the season before that.
You won in 4 last season, so we're gonna go Austin in 4.
If we go 3 straight seasons of me losing in the championship and beating Eric in this 2-3 game, especially this season of all, that's going to be peak. What's the coin doing?
B.
It's flipping. Tails. Tails. Heads. Heads. Tails. Austin loves his autofill.
I do. That completes a guarantee. Maybe the last one of the season.
I'm sure those have done really well this season.
Yep. I keep tracking.
I always do.
Dave versus me in the championship.
Austin in 4.
You're locking that?
He gets it done.
Not even defecation. I think it goes to the death, and I think Dave wins based off having double ban. I'm going Dave in 5. I think he caps off a wonderful season with the championship. Trophy stays in Arlington.
Let's see here. You lost to Dave in week 2. And then you beat Dave in week 9. That was Princess and the Toads, though, right?
Yeah, that was Princess and the Toads. I have not beat Dave's team, and I got swept by him earlier this season.
You got swept. You got swept by the Kate lineup.
I did. They blew a 3-goal lead in that game.
Austin, what is last season? Your plan was to set up for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your thought process? Are you doing that again? Planning for the chip?
Yeah, I'm planning for the championship. I will be sending out. I've been planning this since I dropped Markley in week 8. To have the lineup that I want in this game. I don't know if it'll pan out, but this has been this has been 5 weeks in the making, pretty much.
Unfortunately, I would love to pick you. I really would. But the Buffalo Bills can't be the only team to lose 4 straight. It's gonna be Dave in 5.
Tails. Heads. Tails. Tails.
Austin in 4.
The coin believes. Hamilton just took over the coin in the last couple games.
You had it for MLS. I took it for SPL. Since Danny.
But that definitely MLS. Highlights just how
that's
close.
An MLS game. I like the Danny Garrett game in blue. That's an MLS game.
I don't know the fastest way to do that is.
You could use Control Alt V. I think would do it.
Control Alt P.
V. If you'd copied it. Doesn't work. All right.
Format Painter. Is Painter right next to the 100%? Click the cell below Tanya and I. Yeah, click the cell below Tanya and I. Point into it. Yeah, and then click the paintbrush, and then highlight Danny and Gary.
Except that added in that little line.
That's not important.
But I think that does it for episode 42. We're not even at past an hour and a half. What the hell are we talking about in those weeks? Where we go to an hour and a half.
About a lot.
I feel like it's whenever we have a tier list in there. That adds like a solid 30 minutes. But that's a wrap on SPL Season 4 regular season. Just have the playoffs to go. I believe the date is still TBD. We're probably going to talk about that after this. We are locking in plans for Season 5, and we're building strongly towards Season 6. Cool stuff to come. Think we have more off-season ideas for a podcast than we have in seasons past. So lots to look forward to. Anyone have anything they want to say before we close the book on season 4?
I just got to get it in that Tanya's been a great
Quattro
manager all
for
season. And I can't wait to cap off the season with her cementing that by solidifying her spot in the finals.
And then that's our CDO. I will unfortunately timestamp this episode with a happy birthday, Colin. And to all a good night. Peace.